Do you guys remember the first Pixel Watch back in 2022? I know. I promise this is a video about the Pixel Watch 4, but I'm bringing up the OG Pixel Watch for a very good reason, because I almost can't believe how far Google's come in such a short amount of time. That original Pixel Watch had thick bezels. Battery life was not great, and it just had a lot of first-gen quirks and growing pains to overcome. But fast forward to 2025, and with the Pixel Watch 4, it sort of feels like Google's starting to, dare I say it, take the lead in the smartwatch game. It's kind of wild. Let's start with the hardware. The Pixel Watch 4 has a new domed display that Google is calling the Actua 360. At first glance, it doesn't look that much different, but the new display design makes it so that the bezels are 15% thinner than last year's model, so you have about 10% more active screen area. I was able to compare the Pixel Watch 4's display alongside the Pixel Watch 2 and 3, and side by side, you can really see the progressive improvements on this front year over year. It's also 50% brighter with a maximum brightness of 3000 nits. Now, this isn't specifically a hardware thing, but Material 3 Expressive on Wear OS 6 also plays up all that extra screen space. The widgets and the menus have been redesigned to emphasize the circular shape and also fit more glanceable information into each screen. It's pretty cohesive with the Pixel Watch's previous design vibes, but from what I've seen so far, I'm digging it. Another thing you might have noticed with the Pixel Watch 4 is it's got a new charger. Instead of lying flat on a puck, it now charges on its side. It's kind of annoying that this is the third proprietary charger that Google's introduced in 4 years, but I actually kind of like this design. First, it turns your watch into this neat little desk or nightstand display, and second, it makes it so that it doesn't matter what kind of strap you're using, because it'll just fit neatly on the charger instead of, sometimes you have the strap and it flops over. Also, it looks like a little pillow for your very tired watch. It's very cute. Google says battery life has also improved. The 41mm watch lasts up to an estimated 30 hours, while the 45mm lasts 40 hours. Going into battery saver mode gets you up to 2 days on the smaller watch and 3 on the larger one. At our demo, I was able to stick a 45mm Pixel Watch 4 with about 50% battery life on the charger, and in about 18 minutes it was up to 94%. That's pretty good. Now I brought up battery and display first because, big news everybody, the Pixel Watch 4's display and battery are now easier to repair and replace. If you take the straps off and look into the lug area, you can actually see these two teeny tiny little screws. Google told me that they're actually standard screws, not proprietary, so that you can actually replace the battery yourself. Repairability was a major issue with the previous Pixel Watches. The Verge should know we had some incidents with the first two. So it's cool to see that Google is not only taking that feedback to heart, but actually taking a step forward. This is just not typical to see from a big tech company. There's a new speaker and haptics engine so you can interact with Gemini better because, like the Galaxy Watch 8 series, Gemini is now on the Pixel Watch 4, which also means there's a new, more powerful co-processor with the Snapdragon W5 Gen 2 so that the watch can do more AI things. What kind of AI things? Well, like what we saw on the Galaxy Watches, you'll be able to make more complex queries, things like summarizing emails and sequential requests across multiple apps. Smart replies are supposed to be more contextual and relevant to your conversations as well, so it's not limited to yes or no's, and it's also not limited to the Messages app. So long as your third-party app supports quick replies, it'll also be able to get new contextual smart replies. Kakao talk, am I right, my fellow Koreans? Anyway, so we didn't get to directly demo some of the other many updates coming to the watch, but they include some really cool things, like there's going to be standalone SOS satellite communications for emergencies. This is going to be a first for any smartwatch, and there's no actual extra subscription cost involved. There's also going to be dual frequency GPS, improved activity recognition, and coming in October, a personal AI health coach in the Fitbit app. AI fitness coaches and chatbots are all the rage with wearables at the moment, so it's not surprising to see that this is where Google's head is at. You know, honestly, the only thing that really isn't getting an update this year is the price, which you love to see the price stay the same. It's going to be the same as last year, starting at $349.99 for the 41 millimeter and $399 for the 45 millimeter. In all seriousness, these are some substantive changes. What we're seeing is Google starting to experiment and be the first to do things in this space. They're not catching up anymore. Technically, the Galaxy Watches were the first to get Gemini, but Gemini is Google's baby, and it's the first truly generative AI assistant running on a smartwatch. Satellite SOS is also a first. Last year's loss of pulse feature, another first. Google is doing something new with repairability, where other wearable makers have sort of felt like they're defaulting to these iterative year-over-year updates. It's refreshing to see Google building some real tangible momentum and pushing in some new areas. Can they keep that up? We're just gonna have to see. We'll also have to live with and test the Pixel Watch 4 before delivering any kind of verdict on whether these updates are good, but from what I've seen so far and where everything seems to be going, I don't know, guys, I kind of feel like Google's got the wearable juice right now. That's wild. Like I said before, that's just wild. It's only been 4 years. That's wild. Thanks for watching, and get the Pixel Buds 2A. They were also there and repairable. You can like take the little thingy out and replace the battery. That's genuinely cool. We saw them, we touched them. They're earbuds.